shall breathe out love. Welcome to All People's Unitarian Universalist. My name is David Bindi, and I am one of your worship leaders today, along with Julia Sexton. It's so good to see all of you today. Our Sunday service is a shared time of worship for all present as we gather for music, for the spoken word, and a time of reflection and inspiration as a religious community. Let us come together in the spirit of compassion and respect for ourselves and others as we attend this service. We especially welcome all of you who are visiting today. If you haven't done so, please sign in at the visitors table by the front door, where you can be placed on our mailing list for the weekly announcements and things that are going on, for our monthly newsletter, and a way to keep in touch with all the things that you might want to be a part of in this church. I have a couple of announcements before we proceed. I hope that you all were able to notice the new banner that's hanging on the building in the front of the choir room. It's over on this side from that parking lot. Designating our new name, All People's Church Unitarian Universalist. Special thanks to our church administrator, Carl Thibodeau, for the design and for ordering the banner and getting it installed on the building and getting us started on our new path. This will serve as our temporary sign until we complete the remodeling of the big monument sign that's out on Sandy Lane. And negotiations are underway with the sign company, and we hope to get that done by the end of this year. If you take a moment and turn off your cell phones, like I forgot. A couple more announcements. All People's Service Auction is and dinner is going to be on Saturday, November 12th. It'll start at 6:30, and the tickets are on sale out in the foyer after church. The quilting group always does a quilt for the service auction, and tickets are available out in the foyer also. The theme, Renaissance. A new beginning for the church, a new beginning for everything. Modernization, Renaissance is all inclusive, and the costumes are so much fun and so easy. So we'll see you all dressed up with costumes to celebrate our Renaissance. I'd like you to be thinking about things that you can offer for the service auction. We've done lots of various things for people who are visiting, themed meals, books, arts, furniture. We have a silent auction and also a live auction that will take place after the meal. There's a lot of different things that you could be doing, suggesting. Some of you, if you've got extra time, things like gift wrapping, holiday card addressing, the things that you know that you hate are much easier to do for other people. So offer those services. We've had Tai Chi classes in the past, theater tickets, a lot of different things that you can donate. And remember, this is all to make money for the church. So bring it all and bid it high and outbid your neighbor, and let's build this church to the great place that it can and should be always. There's been a committee crafted to establish a new vision statement for All People's Church. And it has been convened, and we'll be continuing the conversation. Reverend Annie Forster started this just before she left. And next Sunday, if you could join Tina Harmuth and anybody else who's interested on Sunday morning at 9:45 in Jagger's Parlor to share your ideas, to get your comments. Youth, young adult, everybody's invited, so that we can form a mission statement that says who we are and who we want to be. One other announcement, after service in Coleman Hall, we've set up a little video station, and the board has asked that committee chairmen, women, people who are in charge of different committees, if you could take just a little time and do a little spontaneous interview to encourage other people to tell about your committee, what you do and what you do for the church, and so that we can put it on a video documentary so that other people can see what's going on. It's so hard to explain all the things that happen during the week, during the month, during the year, and it's a great way to get information about how to be involved. So now, for our service. That was a lot of announcements. Today we're going to have a little different kind of service. We've one with readings and congregational singing. It's our hymn service, and this is round 2. Our first service, we covered the first 4 principles, and now our hymn service, the introduction of series of Sunday services that our worship committee is putting together, a series of highlights of all 7 existing principles of the Unitarian Universalist, plus a proposed 8th principle that's being run through the system now. Today's hymns and readings will represent 5 through 7, and then the new one, number 8, that's being discussed in the General Assembly. These principles and hymns may be very familiar to you, and perhaps serve as an introduction for our visitors and friends as to what we stand for and what we believe in our mission for our church. We focus on one principle at a time, and our later services we're going to invite members of the congregation to pick a principle and speak a little about its meaning to you, why it matters, and how we live our principles day by day. So this series will spread out over the course of this fall and into the winter, and we'll be asking for your participation to make the service purposeful, meaningful, and inclusive. So we invite you to reflect on the principles, sing soulfully, and let the music into your hearts. Now, settle into a spirit of worship and reflection, and Misha will play our prelude.
Let there be joy in our coming together. Let there be truth heard in the words we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together. Please stand as you are willing and able for the lighting of the chalice and our unison affirmation. This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands. Love is the doctrine of this church, the quest of truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. You may be seated. Thank you. John Kennedy said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live them." Our Share the Plate partner this month is Raíces, Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services. Half of the non-designated cash offerings will be forwarded to them to help assure that they continue their good works. If the ushers will please come forward, this morning's offering will be gratefully received. You're next.
Thank you, Misha, for all your wonderful music. You make our service so fantastic. And everybody always asks me after the service what he played, and I can't ever remember. So was that Schumann? Rachmaninoff. Whew. Okay, our fifth principle, the right of conscience and the use of democratic process within our congregation and in society at large. The reading today is by Mark Valentini, called Election Promises. It was written after the last election, and we should read this and think about this every single day of our life. Election Promises. The polls were open last Tuesday, all day. But today, I say the polls are not just open on Tuesday. I say they are open every day, every hour, even here, even now. Right now, I am going to vote for a sky the color of a robin's egg. I'm vote for vanilla clouds and the purple shadow spreading under the ginkgo tree. I am going to vote for tulips and red buds. I'm going to vote for love that does not have to run in someone else's circle in order to be loved. Vote just for love. I am going to vote the homeless into homes. And I'm going to vote the uneducated into classrooms that teach them in the way they learn best, and not the way that would be the most convenient. I am going to vote the sick into healing. I'm going to vote the lost into belonging. I'm going to vote right now for the right to dream of a world where the word politics doesn't stop me in my tracks, and where the word honor still has a few good meanings left. I'm going to vote right now for the power of free people to actually be free, no matter who they are, no matter who has abandoned them, no matter who hates them. I actually am going to vote for love. I'm going to vote for truthfulness as the norm and not as the exception. I'm going to vote for a world that doesn't vote for killing or control or swagger. I'm going to vote for you. And I'm going to vote for me right now, right here, silently, but for real. Please join me in singing hymn number 150, All Whose Boast It Is. Words will be up here. Stand as you are willing and able, and we'll sing all verses.
If we're breathe on earth a slave, are we truly free and brave? If we do not feel the chain, when it works another's pain, are we not base slaves indeed, slaves unwilling to be freed? Is true freedom but to break fetters for our own dear sake, and with leathered hearts forget
We owe humankind a debt. No true freedom is to share all the chains that
others forswear, and with heart and mind
to be earnest to make others free. They are slaves who fear to speak for the fallen and the weak. They are slaves who will not choose hatred, scoffing, and abuse, rather than in silence shrink from the truth they needs must think. They are slaves who dare not be in the right with 2 or 3. You may be seated. The 6th principle is the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. The reading is called Social Justice by Donald E. Robinson. Many people use the term social justice in a self-serving way. What they mean by social justice is just us. But social justice can only begin. Thank you, David. Sorry. We begin with the interaction between fortunate people and those who are disadvantaged. It is incumbent upon those who, by birth or other circumstances, have good jobs, good educational backgrounds, good lives, to come to the assistance of those who face formidable obstacles to getting an education and leading fulfilling lives. Social justice insists that people are not their circumstances, they are their possibilities. Social justice demands that all people, regardless of their birth circumstances, are entitled to a fair chance at life, and that every person has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, please stand and join us as you are willing and able in singing hymn number 170, We Are a Gentle, Angry People. Our lives, we are gay and straight together, and we are singing for our lives. We are together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. All right.
At this time in our service, we pause to honor and to give time and attention to those things most important to us. We gather here for healing and for peace in our hearts and in the world, and honor our time together with the shared stories and news from the congregation. Each week there's a journal outside the entrance to the sanctuary where you can write a message of memory or hope. Also at this time, during our service, you're welcome to come forward and light a candle in our meditation center. So, from the journal outside, early
find my place here. The seventh principle, the seventh principle is respect for the interdependence of which we are a part. The reading is from Elizabeth O'Shaughnessy Banks. Whenever life looks easy, know that it is more complex than it seems. The simplest, most profound pieces of art have exquisite planning. The melody line rises to the surface because it has been played out, it has been played out in the composer's mind, and the notes arranged and rearranged until all the intricate connections are designed for clarity. We see the web, the end result, strung on the front porch in the morning sun. We did not see the tireless spinning and weaving through the night. The near miss of the bat's flight, the casual brush with the cat's evening prowl along the rail. And what we think we see is much less than what lives in the depth. There is always more than meets the eye, and so we ask for patience when we would wish for everything to be clear. We ask for insight when we can see no further than our own needs. We give forgiveness when others look into our lives and see no deeper than the surface. And we are humbled when we find we do little better and seek ourselves in others as well. In the quiet, we reach inward to that still place. Our hymn for the seventh principle is number 309, Earth is Our Homeland. And you may stand as you're willing. Earth is our Silence our center, our living waters bring. Through waking heart, no sound apart, rule and mystery. For gatherings of we sing through honor and
But it shows that we as a church are continually growing. Famously, are continually growing. And that's a good sign. It helps.
sing with you. Come and with me that land I go bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. Freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound.
You can remain standing. We'll have the benediction before. May this flame that has brightened our time together and warmed our hearts, light our paths, and inspire our vision as we once again go our separate ways. The blessing of truth is upon us. The power of love and strength. And may the peace of the community preserve our going up and our coming in. From this time forward.
Please join us for coffee and conversation.